Hi, thanks for taking the time out to view our presentation. We're the Incredibles, and we've created a platform called CartShop, which is designed to support entrepreneurs and small businesses in their journey onto the web. Before we dive into our presentation, let's meet the team. I'm Rob. I studied biochemistry and then worked in finance for 20 years, but now I'm banking that experience and moving into tech to help me make the world a better place.
Hi, I'm Christina. I spent the last 5 years working in different areas within the Australian government. Now I want to solve problems using code.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I used to work in a warehouse, but after a friend introduced me to learning to code, I got hooked, so I joined the School of Code to learn more.
Hi, I'm Liam. I recently studied international business, but after graduating, I wanted to bring a tangible impact to the teams I was looking to join. So I swapped case studies for code and now look forward to joining a tech team.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm a recent maths graduate and a cancer survivor. My ultimate goal is to use my maths, problem solving skills and coding to contribute to the cause of cancer research. Our brief was to address the impact the pandemic has had on small businesses, with the problem on how we can help businesses get up and running as the economy opens up and also to make up for lost time. It's no secret that Amazon has flourished over the course of the pandemic. I'm sure it's a familiar story of whenever we're in need of an item, our fingers tap on the Amazon app. However, there could be a local business that may be saying the same thing that you don't know of. So how do we make these local businesses have an online presence too? We decided to address this problem by breaking it down to 4 parts. Firstly, help businesses digitalize so that they can stay connected with their customers even in uncertain times. Secondly, make our app simple to use for both the business and customer. Thirdly, how to reassure businesses that our app can help them thrive even in a competitive environment. And lastly, making the transition of moving payments online easy for local businesses.
To help us understand our users and their needs, one of the first things we did was to create our user personas. CartShop's users are small business owners who don't have an online presence and their clients. Meet Margaret. She's a 58-year-old with a flower shop in town. She's keen to start selling flowers again post-COVID. She already has a loyal customer base who keeps asking her to be on the web, but she's not tech savvy and is quite concerned about security. But she knows it's definitely time to get online now. She's time poor and doesn't want to spend too much time in front of the computer. She needs a product that is easy to use, is not expensive, and secure. Meet Mark. He's a 32-year-old nurse and is a regular customer at Margaret's flower shop. His parents also own a small shop, so he knows how difficult it can be. It's very important to him to support local businesses where he can. As he works at a hospital, he would like to minimize contact when he can, and he has quite a busy schedule, so he would like the option of browsing and buying Margaret's flowers online. He would like a quick and efficient method and doesn't want the hassle of creating and signing into a new account to purchase flowers. Throughout the project, we continued referring back to our users and asking, what would Margaret need? What would Mark want? This helped us to keep on track and build an app we feel is tailored to our users' needs.
Welcome to CartShop. Earlier we met Margaret the florist. Let's run through how she can set up her business. Margaret visits CartShop after a friend suggested to her, as she knows she struggled since COVID because she doesn't have a website. She knows Margaret is not that comfortable using the web and has heard that the site is easy to use. She initially finds herself on our landing page, where she can see some screenshots of how our site could look. She wants to find out more about CartShop and clicks on the About page. As she's not that tech savvy, she wants to find out more about the sign up process and clicks on the tutorial page. She sees our easy step-by-step instructions and views the walkthrough video. This is exactly what Margaret needs and decides to sign up using the sign up button.
Margaret creates a profile using our Auth0 integration and is able to continue to the business setup page and start creating her unique CartShop page. Margaret sees a simple layout that allows her to enter the basic information for her business and upload her logo to personalize her page using our Azure blog functionality. She scrolls down to see that there is a section to add her products and decides to add some of her best sellers.
Margaret's now ready to publish a page, so she clicks the Publish CartShop button. This takes her to her own unique page, which mirrors what her customers will see. Oopsie daisies, she made a mistake. Her daisies are on sale. They're now only £10, not $13. She sees that there's an add button and clicks on it, which takes her back to a business page where she can adjust her pricing. She sees that there's a unique link that she can share with her customers. She makes a note of this ready to send later. She's also really happy that she can use a page to track her inventory in real time.
Mark plans to visit his parents soon and wants to surprise his mum with some flowers from Margaret's florist. He clicks on a link that Margaret has sent by email and is directed to the customer page where he can view all the flowers that Margaret sells. He adds flowers to his basket he knows his parents will love, and once he's happy with his choice, he goes to the basket. He then realises he needs to get his sister some flowers too, as he forgot her birthday, so adds them at this stage. He's now ready to pay and clicks the checkout button.
Mark is automatically redirected to a secure payment page hosted on Stripe. He adds his card details and clicks on the payment button. Once the payment is completed, he is redirected to Margaret's CartShop page. He is really satisfied at how quickly and simple he's been able to buy the flowers using the app.
We started out the project journey with a Disney ideation. We looked at the potential products we could build and worked through the dreamer, realist and critic stages to get closer to our initial starting point. To do this, we each had a dreamer column in a Trello board where any ideas were welcome. We then discussed these as a team and brought a few aspects forward into the realist and critic stages. When it came to wireframes, we initially discussed potential ideas and worked our way from paper to professional. We created both mobile and desktop wireframes to ensure a good design on all platforms, as we knew responsive design was a key value of our MVP. While making these, we also created a design system with ideas for our colour palette and potential combinations on things like navigation and button components. While big ideas and wireframes are great, we wanted to keep our app achievable in the time set, as it was only 2 weeks. We worked back from our wireframe to really nail down the key things we needed to make our MVP. This took the form of 4 Trello cards that described our aims. These were a landing page and login, a customer page where they could see the business's products, basket and payment functionality, and the ability for the business to edit data such as inventory or a business name.
A critical contributor to our success has been our initial project setup. After spending some quality time getting to know each other, sharing our Myers-Briggs profiles to support our interactions, and stress heads to highlight what might send each of us into a tailspin, we shared our likes, dislikes and preferences for the project and agreed our decision-making process, plumping for the 3-2-1 methodology, which allowed us to score based on preference to find a winning choice. We all agreed that our values as a team are really important to us, and so we put in the time to agree these together and made sure we referred to them throughout the project. For our day-to-day, we agreed that we would each project manage the team on a daily rotation and follow agile project management methodologies, identifying workload and tracking our progress via tickets on a real-time Kanban board hosted on Trello. In practice, this meant that we had daily stand-ups each morning and retrospectives at the close of day, where we also agreed any out of hours working to avoid duplication. During the day, we split our workload into 4 daily sprints with short retrospectives between each, which, as well as enabling us to tackle each part of the project in manageable chunks, ensured we were all kept up to speed able to easily and quickly identify and address any blockers and adapt to new developments.
Now we'll take a look at the front end of our tech stack. We use React because we wanted to create an app with a clean and simple UX that runs in the browser. We figured this would make our app most accessible to businesses and their customers. When we started coding the front end, Storybook allowed us to quickly make our core components, pass them data, and style them without having to render them in our app. We mostly styled our page using CSS modules. We found locally styling our components made it easier for us to get the design we wanted, and also made our components responsive, so people can use our app on any device. However, we also imported a couple of Chakra components to save us time. We implemented Auth0 to authenticate users so we could ensure that any business logging in can only see and edit the correct information. Finally, we integrated Stripe to allow customers to pay for goods. We chose Stripe because of its simple functionality and enhanced security features to make it easy for customers and give them confidence when making their purchases.
On the back end, we use PostgreSQL for our database. We chose a relational database because we wanted our data to be organized and structured between businesses and their products. Then for our main server, we used ASP.NET so that we could manipulate and retrieve data from our database. Finally, we did set up a Node.js server for our Stripe integration. We just found that this was able to run separately from our C#, and looking at the Stripe docs, we found it easier to set up using Node.js, so we thought we'd challenge ourselves and use something new. Next on to testing, we used React testing library and Jest to test our custom hooks and our components. This gave us peace of mind for when we were then making changes later on, that we knew that we weren't breaking anything. And then on the back end, we used XUnit to test our C# controller, and we used the library mock to help us do this. Finally, we can just see some other technologies that helped us along the way while we're developing our app. We used Azure Blob Storage because we wanted businesses to be able to upload pictures of their products or their logo, and we needed somewhere to store this, but we also needed a link to that to be able to then store in our database for when we were retrieving information and displaying it. So we actually wrote the code for this using TypeScript on the front end. We found this really easy to integrate with our React app. Finally, when it comes to hosting, we hosted our front end on Netlify and our back ends on Heroku. We found this was good because we were just able to set it up to continuously deploy all of the code from our main branch on GitHub.
While we are extremely happy with the state of our application, we do plan on utilising continuous deployment patterns and adding more features in upcoming sprints. We have our app set to rebuild every time we push to main, so when we've created a new feature and the team's happy with it, we can simply merge into main and rebuild our application. Some of the things we're looking at adding are Hotjar heat maps so we can really understand how users use our app, and a React Native version of our site. This way businesses can control inventory or edit their business name on the go, and customers can support local businesses no matter where they are.
Over the past 2 weeks, we were able to stretch ourselves and utilize many of the skills and techs we learned in the first 11 weeks. We also learned we were capable of researching and implementing new technologies we had never heard of, like the Azure Blob and Stripe API. We learned to research our options, to break down the problem into smaller problems, and read through the documentation. Working in a fully remote team had its own challenges, but I can confidently say on behalf of our team that we really enjoyed working together and learned so much from each other. Pair programming was invaluable, not only in terms of problem solving, but it also improved our communication skills. The ability to explain a concept or thought process out loud was much harder than we imagined, but also crucial. When we were stuck, we felt comfortable coming together as a group and looking at the code together, and it was really amazing how quickly we could solve a problem with another pair of eyes. To look back and think that most of us didn't know what functions were 13 weeks ago, to building a full stack app in 2 weeks, is truly amazing.
So that's it from us. We hope you enjoyed our presentation of CartShop and the journey we went on together to create it. If you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch via LinkedIn or through the School of Code.